Hi, I'm the 20th, and this is I Married a White Guy, and three racist judges are trying to annihilate me. Today is November the 24th, and if you have been keeping up with my story, three racist judges malign me in a divorce against a wealthy white man. They sent sheriff deputies in my home during the height of COVID. They broke in my house at 8:30 at night on September the 23rd, and they threatened to arrest me if I didn't leave my home. I have the sheriff deputy Anthony Polito on video telling me to leave my home during COVID, which was illegal. And this I Married a White Guy and three racist judges are trying to annihilate me is me documenting my experience as a black woman in America. It is my intention to expose California as a Jim Crow state. It is my intention to expose the family court system of Los Angeles or California as corrupt and adhere to Jim Crow or black codes. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that on Reunite Sandy Speaks. So again, you guys, I know that my videos have been long-winded and a bit convoluted. But the reason why I'm making this video really quickly, because I'm actually about to record a Reunite Sandy Speaks video. The reason why I'm making this particular video is to keep you up to date. You guys, this is mentally debilitating to me. I have been homeless for over 1 year. I was married to a wealthy white man for 23 years who was an abusive alcoholic. He has ties to the family court and three racist judges, Judge Lawrence Riff, Judge Bruce Awasaki, and Judge Sarah Heidel, maligned me and brought me harm. Not only did these three judges bring me harm, but other departments, agencies, government agencies, and other departments that are representatives of the state were a party to them maligning me. In America, we have checks and balances in the different departments that are to keep check and balances to prevent corruption in judicial levels. And what's happening is when I turn to these different agencies, they appear to be part of the white supremacist collective conscious, and they are not doing what they're charged to do, and that is to police the court system. And you guys, I'm going to say this really quickly. It's really unfortunate. It started with this woman. Her name is Judge Sarah Heidel. She was a judge for less than 2 years when she began to malign me. Okay? According to my husband, he knows this woman. Why did I call him my husband? The man that I married, the white guy. He knew her. And as I've done more research, Judge Lawrence Riff, I haven't been able to attach Judge Bruce Awasaki to the guy that I married, but the agencies that the guy that I married worked for, they actually honored this despicable racist. Okay? So this happened to me because I'm black. Okay? What I really want to encourage you to do is investigate what I'm saying. Because some of you might just think that I'm a disgruntled black woman. No, they broke in my home during COVID when my son was ill and put us in the street. But for my black son, on November 24th, 2021, a year later, I would be in the street. The reason why I was unable to get housing, Judge Sarah Heidel never provided adequate spousal support. On about January 2018, the guy I married abandoned me, and he left with me with all the bills. Only thing that he paid for was the mortgage, and he did that so he can maintain the home. We had over $500,000 or $600,000 in equity of the house. And just to let you know, I found the house I secured the house. I negotiated the house. I was instrumental in closing the house. I was instrumental in the equity that we obtained. I'm not going to go into that deeply. As we go on, I'll tell you a little bit how I contribute to the home. But what happened was these three judges purposely deprived me of marital assets and liberty. Again, I'm doing this video right now to just catch you up to speed. What I'm going to record after this is I'm going to talk about what my intentions are, okay, and it relates to the 14th Amendment. I'm not going to get too deep into that right now. The purpose of me doing this video is to let you guys know that I am clinically depressed, okay? And as I said, I get anxiety, my heart races, I feel sick. This racist judge, and I think with help of her boss, Judge Lawrence Riff, deemed me vexatious. She illegally deemed me vexatious, meaning that I was a nuisance to the court, and that I was filing things egregiously or as a nuisance, and that's not at all what happened. What happened was I was filing things that I had the right to. I was filing for spousal support. I was filing for the guy that I married to help me with attorney fees. And so again, I don't want to go into too deep to that. You can find that stuff on Judge Sarah Heidel is a racist.com. The documents are on there, or you can watch the videos. When I realized, you guys, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm so sorry. I can be all over the place. If you listen to Kanye West, you're like, what is he talking about? He's talking about a whole lot of stuff. What? Well, I have similar tendencies. And it has to relate to why I ended up filing spousal support. How this happens is I filed spousal support. This man left me in 2018 with nothing. Okay? He was the breadwinner, had been the primary income earner, I want to say since 2008. We got married in 1993. He abandoned me in 2018. Okay? And the court did not adhere to California state law, the family code. And I'm not going to get in too deep into that because, and see how I'm all over the place. The purpose of me making this video is to give you an update and let you know. I ended up going to file for spousal support because I was rear-ended. And I sustained a concussion. And I have been suffering with post-concussion syndrome since then. When it first happened, my head was shaking, my ears were ringing like... my ears were ringing. It eventually stopped, and I never even can identify when it stopped. But in the beginning of the proceedings, it was really very hard for me to understand sentences and process thought and engage in conversation. And that's why this woman right here, she thought I was a dumb black girl. Because when I went in their court, I was really... First of all, my marriage of 23 years was ending. I had been an abused, battered wife for 20 years. I suffered from pain, from back pain for about 10 to 12 years. I actually ended up having back surgery. I want to say 2016. When I went to have back surgery, I couldn't walk. So what I'm trying to demonstrate to you guys that I have experienced some emotional and mental health issues due to being married to a toxic white male alcoholic. Then it was precipitated by a racist Jim Crow court. Okay, and the purpose of this video is to tell you I'm struggling to make these videos, okay? And I'm pointing that out to you because I want you to understand, as black people in America, are the biggest, most severe problem that we incur is mental health. We are dealing with the pandemic of being black in America. When according to the 14th Amendment, we are protected and we should receive equal treatment. And so after I video this, I'm going to do a video called Two Americas. So what my intention is, and I hope you guys are following along because I know I lose focus, and the losing focus is a combination of a lot of things. The pain from my experience. I'm suffering. Of course, I'm clinically depressed. I was married to a white male for 23 years, and I
Right, okay.
accidentally stopped the video. But I was saying to you about my mental health and my condition. I was married to a abusive alcoholic for over 20 years. And it's documented in court documents. But these three racist judges failed to acknowledge. They failed to acknowledge his abuse. They actually deemed me the abuser. And I smile and I laugh because what I'm going to show you is these demons, these devils, these white devils who we charge as being responsible for maintaining order and civility in our country. And to white people, I talk about Britney Spears, and I will talk about that more on Reunite Sandy Speaks. But Britney Spears was a victim of the court, of the family court. And they raped her in broad daylight. What that was about with Britney Spears is that Los Angeles family court have different parties, lawyers, judges. To have an executor in her situation, it fed a lot of people. Okay, I'm not going to go in too deep in that. The only reason why I'm bringing that up because I'm showing you Los Angeles family court is corrupt. And when a person is racist, when they commit egregious racist acts, that's a lack of morals and ethics. And I believe a person who's unethical in terms of being racist, who looks at black people but beneath them, think they're superior, and they're willing to do unethical, egregious acts, I think they're unethical people. And to white people, I think if they're in a situation with you, in opposition with you, they will also use the same tactics that they use with black people. It's more prevalent with black people because we have a lack of resources to protect ourselves. Okay, that's why I was a target. And they did this to me because they could. And what I suspect, the guy that I married, he knows these people, but he didn't fully disclose on who I was. I married a wealthy white guy. I lived a very, probably upper middle class life. I lived in a $1 million home. I went on vacations. We lived a great life. He took care of me. And what I think, I know he knows Judge Sarah Heidel, and I think he also knows Judge Lawrence Riff. So what you, black people, sometimes we are characterized as money hungry, or women were characterized as money hungry, gold digging. And because this man, he did take care of me financially. We got gifts of $50,000 a year from his parents. I did live a good life in terms of monetary with this man, but he was abusive. And I suffered emotional anguish because of the abuse being in this marriage. What I think is that these people, judges, thought that they were going to deprive me of this money, and that was one to impede me on to stop me from protecting myself from the law. They did this by stealing money from me, stealing assets from me, by judicial misconduct and abuse of discretion. And they also sent judges they sent the sheriff in my home. I'm going to prove that. They broke in my house and put me in the street. And that was their way to obtain evidence that was in my home. It's a lot to this, okay? Where was I going with this? I'm trying to tell y'all something. So y'all stay with me. If I lose my train of thought, it's because depression, sadness. I had back pain for 10 years. A lot of things interfered with my cognitive skills, okay? And so I was trying to tell y'all something about this man. I don't even remember. What was I about to say? Oh, God. Don't stay with me. Let me pause and I'm going to review and then I'll catch up. Please forgive me for being this way. But, okay, I'm going to move forward. I'm not even going to stop because I'm going to go to my point of what I'm trying to tell you. What's propelling me? Oh, what was going to say about this is that these three racist judges thought that money was motivating me. That things and money motivate me. And things and money do not motivate me. This man gave me a lot of stuff. He took me on vacations, but he was abusive to me. And I was never really happy. I suffered mentally. I was sad and depressed the majority of our marriage. But see, let me tell you the good thing about this. The good thing about this is that he has credentials for mental health. And he studied 3 times. He's a really hard worker, but he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. He's not really very bright. He doesn't have like natural intelligence. He worked really very hard though. He took the test 3 times. And one of the reasons why he married me is because I'm very helpful and I helped him. That I am a ride or die. And if you rock with me, I rock with you. That's one of the reasons why he married me, because he knew I was never going to let him fail. He told me that. When he graduated from college, he said, I knew I was with you, you were never going to let me fail. Yeah, I'm a helicopter mom. I will push you to be your best. I'm a tiger mom. I will push you to be your best. And that's one of the things that's one of the values that I brought in his home to him. But, he was abusive because he has his own mental health issues dealing with his background. And because he was abusive, and I used to have really bad bouts of depression when he would do these attacks, I sought out different ways to remedy my suffering. Okay? And because I sought out different ways and understand what was happening to my body and my mind when this man was abusing me and how I can combat it or heal myself or whatever, I recognize what is happening to Black people in America, the mental health aspect of it. And so as I sit here and I speak, I feel sick. I feel nauseated. And it hurts. And that's one of the things that's propelling me, is that if these 3 racist judges brought me harm, and you guys, I cannot stress this enough, they stole over probably $1 million from me, for no other reason than I'm a Black woman. It is these judges' jobs to handle a divorce equitably, and I would hope with integrity, trying to do what's in the best interest of both parties. But what you're going to see is that didn't happen. And so let me tell you who I am. I am a glass half full kind of person. This man that I married was a glass half empty kind of person. And I believe that's one of the reasons why God put me in his life, is to help him grow and be a better person. But unfortunately, he took me for granted. But being that I'm a glass half full kind of person, I know, okay, all these things happen to you. What are you going to do? It's all full circle. I was in an abusive relationship with someone who was abusive. I suffered, I really suffered with this guy, okay? But being with this man gave me the tools and the discernment to understand what's happening to me. And what I recognize is when corrupt, racist officials, judicial officers, or people in different areas of the law or in business, when they violate us, one of the reasons why they're successful, because many of us don't have the wherewithal to push through. This divorce, God knows, I'm still doing stuff with it, but because it's still debilitating to me, he's done something to me for the past year. The judge kept having proceedings and making orders and stuff when I wasn't present. They put me out of my home, so they don't know where I am. So they were unable to serve me. So whatever they've done without following proper procedure. Okay? And the point that I'm making is that what I know is that they do this to Black people because what they're counting on is that we don't have the resources or the mental wherewithal to push forward. And I'm saying a lot of stuff, and it's many reasons why I sound really convoluted. My girl on Instagram, girl, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You need some cohesion. So I know I'm all over the place. Let me pull back. But their intention is to prevent me from pushing forward and fighting for my rights. And because of that, what I'm trying to say to you guys in the long story, and need to make it short, is that's what's propelling me. If they did this to me, what are they doing to people who have less tenacity? Yeah, I lived in this home with this man who was abusive to me, and it was hard for me. But there are people who endured way more, who lived in poverty and couldn't feed themselves, may have been on drugs, and a whole slew of things, who are Black like me. And they couldn't deal with what is going on this channel. You see, I show you Skid Row, where it is a higher population of black people. You know what, you guys? I'm hoping I'm not gonna mess this up. The light went out on here, and when I touch it, it stops the video. Okay, didn't stop it. Okay, yeah. So look, me and these long ass rants. What I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to tell y'all that I'm struggling to document what they've done to me. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to please stick with me because I'm not gonna give up. I lay in bed for weeks on end, unable to move because I'm in pain. And one of the greatest things that is harmful to me is that my son is watching his mother be depressed. My son, since this divorce has been going on, has witnessed his mother be sad and depressed. My son was the one who pointed out to me the abuse that he did. One day my son said to me, "Mom, when he'll come home, you'll be in the best mood." I'm happy, y'all. I'm a happy person. I'm really happy. And he'll come home. He says, "Mom, you'll come home." Because I talk to everybody. I'm just happy, and I'm just trying to give y'all an environment of what's happening in my home when this racist man I married comes in the house. He would come in the house and he would just say shit to me. He would start fights with me. And my son observed it. And this is one of the things he said to me maybe like 8 years ago. He's like, "Mom, you'll be in the best mood. He'll come home and say mean things to you." And I wasn't aware that my kids was observing what the dynamics between he and I. You know, because you know when you're in a marriage, you having problems. You ask yourself, "Am I the problem? What can I do better? How can I stop us from fighting?" As women, you know, we do that. When my son pointed that out to me, it was kind of like a wake up to me that this was happening. You know. But getting back to what I'm trying to say to y'all, I am struggling in documenting this. Okay, I have a lot of legal things that I have to do. What they did to me, like I can't even read it. Like I can't go to the website and read it because, and I want to stress this, and it's very important that I stress it. I want to tell you why I stress this. See, everything happens in divine order. And part of this is my karma. I've had friends who may have suffered and struggled with things, and I would push them. Like, you're not trying hard enough. Don't be sad. You know, put yourself together. You know, have a stiff upper lip. This is how my mother raised me. And that's the kind of person that I am, right? And I have been hard on other people. You're going to meet one of my cousins who was a drug addict, who is no longer a drug addict. She now has a master's degree, and she attributes to me pushing her. Okay, and I'm bringing up the pushing you people because in the past I've pushed people like, "You're not trying hard enough." And you guys, see, God will fix you. I think everything happens in divine order. It's times that I have to do things in this divorce, and I am not physically able. My body and my mind won't do it. I'm sorry, you guys. This street is really very noisy during the day. But I'm conscious and I'm aware. I'm going to talk about mental health and the pandemic of being black and the mental health aspect of being black on this channel. You will either find it under Critical Thinking with the 20th Key or Reunite Sandy Speaks. Okay? Because I was married to this guy and I read these books and helped him study. I used to help him because he failed 3 times. So I was trying to help him study. He didn't not to show up his life in a drawer. I learned stuff intuitively because I was teaching him. I was helping him learn. So I learned this stuff. So what I learned is what happens to the body. And it's a fight, flight, or freeze response. And you guys, as I talk, my heart is racing. I feel sick. I have to do things, and I still have to do things with this divorce. It's things that I have to read, I have to write. Because these governmental agencies are a party to the white supremacist collective conscious in California, and they're a party to not protecting black people or doing their job and acknowledging that they're maligning me. The judges did not adhere to the law, and they discriminated against me because I'm black. And there's different departments that you have to do different things when you want justice in America. And they denied me They are a party, and they make it difficult. If you look on the video, I showed the video of the court clerk, Arturo Quintero, lying to me about the vexatious litigant. Okay, people are a party to it. So it's not just the judge; it's the state of California. Okay, and in order to do this, I have to think about what they did to me over and over again. I have to write it. When they lie to me and say, "Oh no, we don't see a problem," I have to point out, "Hey, this is the problem." Because what they do is they go, "Oh, we don't see a problem," and they're lying. And what they don't know is they're doing the wrong one. Okay, first of all, but I find myself having to think about what they did and point out how they broke the law, and it hurts. And because it hurts my body and my mind shuts down. And I know it's my body protecting myself because because I was in this horrible relationship with this man who used to do these attacks, and I would lay in bed for weeks. I would be in a dark place for weeks. Now, I wasn't happy being an unhealthy mom and had these children. And I felt these things happening. I was an observer of what was happening to my body. I read books. I remember things from when I helped him read it's called a DSM-4. Now it's like probably 7 or 8, but it's a book on mental health. And so I learned about what was happening to the body. A doctor diagnosed me as being depressed, having to deal with my back and other things, and he gave me a pamphlet about depression. And I was like, "Dude, I ain't depressed. What are you talking about depressed? I'm not depressed." This is exactly how I'm not depressed. You're talking about depressed, right? I'm not depressed. Being depressed sounds negative, like something wrong with you, like you crazy, like you got a mental health problem, right? I was like, "What you talking about depressed? I'm fine. I'm just having a hard time. It's a hard time in my life right now. I'm not depressed." He gave me a pamphlet. I got my car. When I got home, I read the pamphlet. I started reading it. I was like, "Oh shit! If this is true, 99% of black people in America are depressed." And I'm laughing, you guys, because everything happens in divine order. Everything is coming full circle. But for me marrying this white man, I would have been drugged through a horrific experience with this racist man who abused me. But for me being married to this racist man, this white supremacist, because he's a white supremacist because he used my race against me, okay, and was really clear about it, and laughed about it and thought it was cute. That's called white supremacy. But for me going through the divorce court and watching and being a witness to corruption, then I wouldn't be aware of what they do to black people. I mean, I know, but I wouldn't know it firsthand and the extent of it. Because I know it firsthand, I know it's a problem. Because I was in this relationship with this abusive white alcoholic, I developed tools and a knowledge of how to combat these mental health issues, right? And so they took everything from me. But see, I always look at the finish line, okay? What keeps me forward, keeps me going, is getting to the finish line. And getting to the finish line is going to have me hold the state of California accountable for being a Jim Crow state. And with that, hopefully, it will improve conditions for black people. I didn't intend for this to be as long as it was. I married a white guy, and 3 racist judges are trying to annihilate me. I'm going to come back. I'm having a hard time, but I'm determined. I have a GoFundMe below. And I'm telling you that because I need monies for a legal assistant. They illegally deem me vexatious to prevent me from protecting myself legally. I can't file things. If you watch the previous video, you see how this man's lying to me and saying I'm on the list. Okay. Not only was okay, I'm not gonna say that because I need not to say that because of court issues, but this is really hard on me, you guys. I have been homeless for 1 year. They stole my house. And everything they did, I am going to get legal assistance to make me whole. And the purpose is not to make me whole. The purpose is to demonstrate that black people need protection. That black people need additional protection to be deemed as a protective class under the 14th Amendment. And I said this before, and I don't think you guys really understood it when I watched the video again. I don't think I made it very clear. The reason why my divorce is so trying not to mess it up. The light goes out. Oh shoot! I keep on messing up the recording because the light goes out and I touch it and it pauses the video. But the reason why this case is so important because it's my goal to identify states that have Jim Crow ways and to demonstrate the white supremacist collective conscience in America. And I'm going to do it by state. I'm going to document it, and I'm going to demonstrate that America has broken its promise to black people under the 14th Amendment. I'm about to record that video, so I'm going to link it below. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I've been sitting here for 30 minutes talking about this. But why my case is important. When we talk about racial injustice in America, when we say, is America a racist country? Sometimes it could be a police officer and a black person who may have been allegedly committing a crime, right? And so a lot of that is speculative as to the nature of what occurred. Did the police have negative intentions because it was a black person? All of that sometimes is very hard to prove, right? When it's a place of employment, or you feel like you've been, what's it called? What do you call them? They qualify you. I'm so sorry, you guys. I really have a hard time remembering things. When they profile you in a store, or they treat you differently at a job. When in those cases, it's the company and a black person. And it's actually up to debate as how it was perceived, right? Was it the company actually being racist? It's really a lot of times it's really very hard to prove it when it's a private entity or a law enforcement officer because there's different dynamics. The reason why my case is important because it's not all of that. Me and this guy are supposed to be equal. It's a white guy, a black woman, in a no-fault state. This equity. We didn't have to prove that someone did something wrong or someone did something bad. Okay? Other than the abuse. The law does say something about abusive. And I demonstrated that he was abusive. And I don't know how he was able to have me deemed abusive because I never abused him. I never did anything abusive. Okay? He was the abuser. It was documented. I submitted letters of him apologizing to me since 1993 for his abuse to me. I'm going to say this to you again. My girlfriend, who, I'm going to tell you guys the name drop. My girlfriend, her daughter is married to Nick Cannon's brother. And I told you the story before, but long story short, I was upstairs in my home with her, and he had came home drunk from playing golf. And she was in the bathroom. And I yelled at him and told him to go back where he came from. Because he was cheating on me doing all kind of stuff. He's come home drunk, getting on my nerves. But he ran upstairs, took me, slammed me against the wall, and choked me. That's what he would do. He would choke me. He would always fucking choke me. I tell me shut up, right? Probably, yeah. Because I ain't gonna lie, I do talk a lot. He slammed me against the wall, and he was choking me. And when she came out, she caught him. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't know he did that. Because if you are an abused wife, you know we protect them. We know we don't want anyone to know that they abuse us. Especially if we have a good husband who goes to work and he pays for everything, he takes care of it, and it all looks like the white picket fence, beautiful home. We play to that narrative, and we don't let anyone know, right? But in my case, it's different people that knew. My doctors, assistants, girlfriends, they all knew that he was abusive. I told certain people, okay? But so, in terms of divorce and what I'm trying to say, then I'm going to use this case, my efforts is to create legislation to protect black people, to deem black people as a protective class, similar to how the Asians did with the Asian bill. But, I don't want to go into this because I'm about to do a video about the 14th Amendment, and I'll link it below. But because I've been sitting here talking for like 30 minutes or more, and the purpose of this video is to tell y'all that I haven't forgot that 3 racist judges have maligned me. And to be honest with you, I don't know what the judge, Sarah Heidel, she recused herself on December the 3rd, 2020. She recused herself because I kept on trying to file to get back in my home. And she kept on doing illegal stuff. And remember, that's when the guy, the video of Arturo Quintero, she recused herself because what they were trying to do was send my case back to Los Angeles. They were doing stuff to try to cause me harm. And what their purpose is just like I showed you guys when the way they used to beat the slaves, how they beat you and try to beat you into submission. They were trying to beat me into submission. And what happens is the body and the mind shuts down because it's trying to protect itself. And I know I've said a lot now. I hope you guys are following along with me. But in short, why I'm continuing, and you see how I'm having such a hard time and being cohesive and keeping my train of thoughts. This is a result of me being black in America and 3 racist judges maligning me. And what I know, if they did this to me, what are they doing to other black people? And instead of me sitting here trying to get my home back and the money they owe me, I am going to use this case for liberation of black people. So again, I've got a GoFundMe below. The GoFundMe is I need for help with legal fees. If you have any questions about the GoFundMe, please pose a question. You know me on Instagram, message me. I haven't been really pressing that. Look, people finally started donating, and it's been really very small. And the reason being is that I'm not comfortable asking people for money. I really have a serious issue with that. I was financially secure up until 2018. So I never had to ask people for money. I'm on food stamps. Been on food stamps since this woman did not provide adequate box support as the law says. And I'm a prideful person. So I don't feel comfortable asking y'all for money. But see, we know I'm going to swallow my pride because the money is not for me. The money is for liberation of black people. Okay, I'm going to stop here, but I just want y'all to know that I made this video because I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time. But I told you I got this. See, the white guy, no. The 3 judges don't know. The 3 judges think that they're going to beat me up and I'm going to fall back. Okay? The white guy knows that I'm here nursing my wounds. He knows what it is. He knows it's not over because he knows me. He would do horrible things to me. And the next day I wake up smiling like, hey, can I make you some breakfast? You kick me, but I don't stay down. Okay? And so I told y'all I got this. I'm coming to you and I'm telling you the truth that I'm struggling with this. But I promise you, I got this. I'm going to take care of this. I have many goals and agendas. Please go to Reunite Sandy Speaks. I would say briefly, we're having issues with the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Neither one of these parties are in the best interest of black people. I've sought out different people, Roland, Scorpio. I've called out many agencies to help me. And if you read this and you investigate, you see what they did to me. Some of these black people, they're not trying to help me because Judge Lawrence Riff, Judge Bruce Awasaki, I think they were, and also this chick, Sarah Heidel, was appointed by Democratic governors. Okay? Judge Sarah Heidel she's classified as, she isn't, I don't know how to say it, but she isn't classified as being a part of a party. That's one of the things the guy that I married told me that when this was going on. It's like, yeah, she don't identify as the Democratic Party. She down with Donald Trump. And y'all, I'm not going to get into the whole Donald Trump thing. I'm just trying to say, black people, America is not for us. Okay? And this is our country. Only people going to liberate us is us. You see that Kyle Rittenhouse, the judge took care of him? You saw that? You saw how they donated $2 million for his bail? See how they take care of each other? Pull up, y'all. Pull up. I'm going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse too. Go to Reunite Sandy Speaks. And y'all who know me from the chat rooms, now y'all see my face. I'm the 20th key. Now you know why I'm so adamant about loving and liberating black people. Because I got an agenda. My agenda is to liberate black people. Y'all, I'm going to stop here. Okay? I'm about to do a video on Reunite Sandy Speaks about my agenda. So please, I'm going to link it when I'm done. So if it's up, when you see this, please go there. Please follow me. And I don't care what you got, $5, $10, donate to my GoFundMe. I need support, okay? I need support. And in order for me to get liberation, I have to do it legally through the court system. And lawyers cost money. I'm going to talk about that on Reunite Sandy Speaks. Thank you so much.